this is a materials list of all of the things that I had to buy and I couldn't make for my homemade sawmill. I spent the last probably 3 or 4 months collectively getting all this stuff together. After I got the motor, I paid $100 for this 11 horsepower side shaft mower that came off a generator. I had to buy a $24 muffler for it. This has an auxiliary fuel tank, so I'll have to buy a fuel tank as well. I went ahead and tried to find pulleys that would be sufficient for the RPMs that I want the motor to run to. So this small pulley here is for the back of the shaft of the Briggs & Stratton motor, the 11 horse motor. And I'm hoping that I can run this small enough of a pulley, because again, that motor's not designed to run at the high RPMs, but it may not work, so I may have to change these. But regardless, this cost me about $9. The second pulley cost me about $15, and these are all balanced pulleys. These are Browning pulleys, which are good pulleys. So $9, $15. I've got this key stock that I will use as I cut grooves into the shaft as needed. I got just some excess key stock. That was about $4.25. Let's jump over here to the big pulleys. This is probably the most expensive piece of the puzzle. I chose to run cast iron pulleys, sheaves is what they're called, instead of trailer tires like a lot of guys do. I've seen these pulleys go for as much as about $45 a piece plus shipping, which is usually another $20 to $30, to as much as $250, depending on where you're getting them from. I paid $17 a piece for these pulleys, and again, these are Browning pulleys, these are balanced pulleys. I was able to get them for that price because the bore is not the standard 1-inch bore that everybody wants. I paid $17 a piece, so $34 for the 2 pulleys. I paid $30 in shipping, so $64 for 2 pulleys that some guys would get in excess of about, who knows. But I will also say I found a website that sells them for quite a bit cheaper than that, and I'll put the link of the website in the description. The next thing I found was these, zoom in on that. These are pretty interesting bearings. These are what's called a V-groove bearing. These are a seal bearing that's designed to run at higher RPMs. I'm going to use these bearings, 3 on each side, for my guides, for my blade. So I purchased 8 of these bearings for $19. I'll also put the link where I found these. 2 of the bearings I used for my boat winch guide. And then that leaves me with 6 left. I'll use 3 on each side for guides for my this band for the blade. I paid $17 for this boat winch that's rated at 650 pounds. I also picked up what they call weldable hinges. And these hinges are going to be designed, or the idea behind them was that I could have a fixed hinge that would allow me to adjust the pivot on the sheave. And these were only a few bucks, $3 or $4, but I'll tell you right now, I may not use these because I've changed how I want to do this. These are stop collars. Again, because I went with 1 3/16 pulleys, that changes everything. And actually the cost went up when I did that. But 1 3/16 doesn't bother me at all because it's just more heavy duty. But I had to buy pillow blocks that were 1 3/16. I had to buy stop collars that were 1 3/16. Now, if you look at most pillow blocks, they have set screws on them that lock in place. But I got stop collars to go with that because I didn't want to bank on just the stop collars, the set screws on the pillow block. And so I got 4 of these, and these were about, I think they were about $12 for those stop collars. These pillow blocks were twice the cost of 1 inch. These were almost $40, where 1 inch pillow blocks were $22. And so the cost went up when I bought these. So one could argue that if I went with 1 inch pulleys, I probably actually would have saved money. But again, I don't mind the fact that the shaft is going to be 1 3/16. I paid $40 for a set of 4 of these V-grooved casters that are rated at 450 pounds a piece. The last things that I have to buy is the blade which blades range anywhere from 15 bucks all the way up to about 75 or 80 bucks depending on what you're going to cut, or even more expensive if you're running a carbide blade. I'm not going to run carbide blade. But so far I have about, with everything, with my motor, with everything, with the scrap steel that I bought, about 350 bucks into it. And I have maybe another 100, 150 that I'll put into the track system. So collectively I'll have $500 into a sawmill that, in my opinion, is as good as a $4,000 or $5,000 Norwood or Wood-Mizer sawmill that I could very quickly make my money back with. So I'm now ready to start the assembly process and finish the sawmill.